All right, Carlos, you can do this. Be one with the pimple. Be one with the pimple. You can do this. You have the confidence. I'm gonna do this. I'm ready. Let's go. I can't do it. Not this show. Maybe next show, but definitely not this show. Welcome, sports fans and all YouTubers across the nation. This here is Uneducated Sports Talk, and I am your host, Carlos Clayton. Let's get right into it, man. The trade deadline is just gone and past, and you know what? We had absolutely no drama at all. Wow, no drama. Usually the trade deadline, you usually have this one, maybe two cases of somewhat of a star, maybe not a superstar, but a star that gets traded to a team, and it's kind of like, okay, well, that team has made progress and they're looking to actually win something right now or get, deep into the playoffs. This one, no drama, no nothing. You had Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova go to the Magic for Tobias Harris, who's going to the Pistons. That's probably the biggest trade. Tobias Harris' offseason, 5 years, I believe. He's like 5 years, $70 million range, something in that area, or 5 years, $80 million. The man he could shoot and he could score, but he just wasn't gelling with Orlando and what they were going with. So they switched it around, and that was probably the biggest blockbuster trade of all. And that wasn't really a blockbuster trade. It was just teams that had needs, and I think Orlando wanted a little bit more veteran leadership on that team, and the Pistons just needed a scorer, small forward wise, who can get in the paint and create his own shot. And I think both teams got a good deal off of that. Then you also had Jeff Green going to the Clippers for Lance Stevenson, who's going to the Grizzlies. No Doc Rivers, he stayed with his Boston Celtics roots. First he got Big Baby, now he got Jeff Green on his team, so he keeps his Boston roots strong. Don't be surprised next year if he goes for Kendrick Perkins. As a joke. That's a joke. And then we also have Markieff Morris. Yes, Markieff Morris. He's been giving the Suns trouble this whole entire year. You traded my twin brother away, and now I'm out for revenge. Well, he got his wish granted. He's going back to Washington with his twin brother. And then the Wizards, of course, are getting a first-round pick and a couple more pieces with that. So you don't know who really wins that. I guess with an extra pick, the Wizards aren't really going anywhere. That first-round pick could be, the Suns aren't going anywhere, excuse me. So that first-round pick could be, decent for them, because the Suns need all the help they can get. All the help they can get. Like I said earlier, no big trades happen. And people wonder, the last couple of years, there haven't really been this big blockbuster trade at all. And I want to talk about that, the trade deadlines and what it symbolizes for the NBA. It symbolizes hope for a few teams. It symbolizes either a rebuilding process or, we want to put our stamp in the name right now. And people wonder why. Well, there are teams who have assets, like the Boston Celtics, who have assets to get a superstar right now. Why aren't teams trying? It's not that teams aren't trying. Teams aren't that easy of trying to get a superstar. They're not in that mentality anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because February 22nd, 2011, that changed the game. When your boy Carmelo Anthony was traded to the New York Knicks from the Denver Nuggets. It had this big trade going on. And the Knicks thought they had a godsend in their hands. And then, of course, the Nuggets just wanted pieces for it. And to be fair, I think the Nuggets, at the end of the day, won that trade. Because guess what? Both teams suck. So, of course, the Nuggets won that trade. In the beginning, the Knicks, you thought they would win because they had Carmelo Anthony with Amari Stoudemire. That front court would have been deadly. It never panned out. Carmelo's that kind of a guy. I don't think he's a team killer. But that's another story. So we're talking about, this is what happened with the trade. Of course there was another team involved. I believe it was the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they didn't really get too involved when it came down to who's going where. But Carmelo went to New York. Now, This is who New York gave up, because New York was actually gelling that year. Amara Stoudemire was averaging 26 points per game, and that team was gelling. I don't know, they were like a top 4 in 2011 at that particular time. This is who they gave up: Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Timothy Mozgov, and 2 second-round picks. They gave all that up to the Nuggets just to get Carmelo Anthony, and it hasn't panned out one bit. So that's why teams these days are reluctant to trade that big superstar, and I don't blame them, because I mean, when stuff hits the fan with that superstar, you're gonna look back like, man, we had a good thing go. We would have kept our picks. We could have had something special on. I think the Knicks had something special on, but they wanted Carmelo so bad. They gave us so many picks, and now 5 years later, both teams still stink. So you got to get the nod to Denver, and I think that's why most GMs, most front offices aren't going for those big trades anymore. You got to have someone crazy big like Kevin Durant, and his team has got to be sorry that year for them to trade him. That's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 years. So we'll see how that goes for the next year or the next couple years. But I don't see anything like that ever happening for a while. So that's why I think teams aren't going for those big trades anymore. You won't get a Carmelo for 20,000 people, and then to end up 5 years later both being even, both still going for the lottery, that kind of stuff. So those days are pretty much over with. We'll see. On other news, the Warriors beat the Atlanta Hawks 102-92 earlier, and they are the fastest team to reach 50 wins. The fastest team to reach 50 wins. Now, I was comparing them to the 95-96 Chicago Bulls, and I'll give my take on who I think is better on my Uneducated Thoughts that's coming up. So check that out. And if you haven't had a chance, check out Uneducated Thoughts. I'll talk about Dwight Howard during the trade deadline and why he didn't get traded, why he didn't get looked at, because I think he's not a superstar anymore. So check that out on my channel as well, man. Like and subscribe as well. But back to the Warriors. Do I think that they're going to break the record, go 7-3-9 or better? I'm going to just say no for now. I think they might have a chance to tie. That's probably the best I can give them. But in this second half, it's going to be rough because everyone is gunning. And I just don't see their record being broken. And I mean, don't get me wrong, they can. If there's a team to break it, it's them to break it. But I don't see anyone coming close. I mean, not close, but I don't see anyone breaking the record. They might go 70-12, that kind of thing going on. But I mean, never say never, because records are meant to be broken all the time, and I think the Warriors will come close. They might even tie the way they're going. After getting beat badly by Portland, they go out and have a great game against the Clippers, and then come out and beat the Hawks the day after the next. So I mean, they're back on stride. You had your little one oops. At the same time, the Bulls lost against the Knicks in that same season, that 95-96 season, by 32 as well. I mean, it's the NBA. It's 82 games. Stuff's going to happen. So I don't get over excited when the Warriors win, and I don't get uber nervous when they lose either, because those guys know what they're doing. They're handling business. So shout out to the Warriors, fastest team in NBA history to reach 50 wins. And I mean, they're just trucking through it all. I'm going to give you my random thought of the day. It's basically just something random that no one talks about, but we're going to bring it out to you. And we're going with the NFL, of course. NFL, even though the season's over with, NFL never stops, so we'll keep talking about the NFL all year round. That's the beauty of it. I want to talk about Vontaze Burfict. You know that I think he was a single-handed reason. Well, him and Adam Jones, Pac-Man Jones, is 1A, 1K, 1L or something, not 1A, 1B. But Vontaze Burfict was, I think, the single reason why the Bengals did not beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And who knows, if the Bengals win that game, things might be different the way the NFL season, the NFL playoffs did. But you never know, you can never go. But he single-handedly lost that game for the Bengals. Well, he comes out and he said he has to change and be different. And I'm like, yes, you do. You have to be different. Because now in this day and age, you can't be uber aggressive anymore like you could back in the 80s and back in the 90s. So I'm just thinking to myself, you know, how crazy do you have to be to cost a whole entire franchise a playoff game. You gotta be super crazy. So I just thought about it, my random thought, I wonder if he's gonna stick to his word. If he is, because the man's an excellent talent. He's a beast on the field. If he sticks to his word, there should be no problem with him changing this game and being better for the Bengals. And then if he could stop those antics, that team defensively wise is already good. They're a top 5 to 10 team already. If he could stay the way he is, but don't be crazy and have those crazy antics, they'll be just fine. I have no problem with Vontaze Burfict. Like I said, a great linebacker. Do your thing, man. Go ahead and change. Please change for the Bengals' sake. They had those who dat chances. That sucks. It's all about the who dat, baby. Who dat. But that's my random thought. Vontaze Burfict. I hope you get better. Hope you learn your lesson, because that's a big lesson to learn. Anyways, let's go on to the question of the day. Now, the question of the day, like I said, we're talking about a trading deadline, and we all know the news that happened, all the teams. Even though there weren't any big trades, I want to know from you guys who won it. Which team won out of the trade deadline? Is it Orlando? Is it Detroit? Is it the Clippers? Now, I think out of all those teams that won, I gotta go with. Like I said, it was tough, man. But call me crazy. Call me crazy. I think I am crazy saying this, but I think Lance Stevenson with the Grizzlies was a nice pickup. And I think the sad part is the Grizzlies lost Marcus Gasol. The good part is, you still in the playoff hunt, you still make the playoffs, you might not do anything, but with a Lance Stevenson, it gives you some kind of creativity with the ball. Him and Mike Conley could win you one playoff series. So I think that was probably the biggest trade in my opinion. Like I said, I think this Doc Rivers sticks with his Boston boys. And I think Jeff Grant is a little bit overrated with what he does. He's a good player, but he gives you 25 one night and give you 2 from 1 for 3 shooting the next night. So I think that the Grizzlies won that scenario. I mean, I could be wrong. Call me crazy, like I said. But I want to know who you think won out of those trades. Let me know, man. Just comment below. And of course, my next episode, check it out. We're gonna bring back Floss or Toss It. So check that out. Don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna floss it. I'm gonna just toss it the way. You just never know. Check out the Last Word podcast as well. And my boy J Nev and my boy Derek Simeon. They talk the real stuff, and I'll be on the show a few times too. So check out the Last Word podcast, man. Check out their channel, like and subscribe as well. And if you like what you're seeing on the camera, check out Clay_D. That's CLAY_D. He has his Clay D Cinematic Productions going on. Check him out as well too. My brother handling things, Darius Clayton. So check him out, man. And pretty much it's a short episode. That's all we got. And like I said, check out my Uneducated Thoughts. I'll be having talks going on there at the same time this is coming up. Hit me on Facebook at Carlos Clayton. That's my name. Of course, check me out on Twitter at Carlos Clayton _. And check out the Snapchat. It is Carlos UST 1988. UST stands for Uneducated Sports Talk. And then, so like I said, Snapchat, Carlos Clayton UST. Carlos UST 1988. Facebook is my man Carlos Clayton. And Twitter is Carlos Clayton _. So I hope you had a fun time with a short episode. You gotta get involved. We get involved. Like I said, next episode of Lost and Tossing. So, for all sports fans who enjoy what they're seeing, like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe, comment, and so just check me out. I'll see you guys later. All sports fans, stay smart, stay educated.